Thank you very much.
Hello, Chris. It's really good to see you.
Great to see you too.
So Tyler Rake is back. Now, for those of our viewers who didn't catch Extraction 1, where's he at? What's he doing in this latest one?
Well, at the end of the first film, he was riddled with bullets and a piece of Swiss cheese and toppled off the top of a bridge, never to be seen again. We had an incredible response from audiences. Netflix called us and said, we've got to resurrect him and make a sequel. So he's back. He begins in a very broken emotional and physical state. And we see the resurrection and the rebirth of him and off onto another adventure, another mission.
Now, Chris, I watched the first one, and I'm guessing this one's very similar in terms of the stunts. I mean, you do love your stunts, but you're not 20 years old anymore, are you, Chris? So I'm just wondering how the body's holding up in this latest batch of stunts you're having to go through.
It's exhausting. It was... look, a lot of the stunts I've done in the past, it traditionally shot, 3 or 4 cameras on it. You can do sequences that are maybe 5-10 seconds long. You have a number of different camera angles to cut around and edit and make it look fast and choppy and cool. The way Sam Hargrave, our director, shoots is it's all in camera, and a lot of it is one continuous shot. And so a lot more prep time and a lot more exhausting, higher element of risk involved, a lot more injuries, a lot more, rehabbing and management of injuries. And as you say, I'm a little older now, and things are catching up. But you get a little smarter with how I train, how I approach a stunt. The preparation that goes into it is a bit more in depth, and there's a bit more, emotional, intellectual intelligence that's applied, as opposed to just diving headfirst into it like I used to.
Yeah, well, it's interesting you say that, because we're not going to give the game away, but at one point you're on fire. You're not the only one on fire. There's a few people on fire. And then at another point, you're on top of a train and there's a helicopter trying to land on top of that very train. I mean, was there any point where you thought, you know what, this is all a bit risky. I think I'm not going to do this one.
Yeah, most days. I think my initial reaction to just about everything that Sam presented and offered up was one of both excitement and fear, and initially was probably like, you're crazy, there's no way we can even do that. And off we went and did it. I mean, as you say, we had a train moving at 50 miles an hour. There was a helicopter flying 20 feet in front of the train backwards, and I'm on top of the train 20 feet away from it, shooting the thing. Helicopters landing on trains, people coming out of their helicopters and then into a fight with me. We had as part of this one continuous shot, we had 400 extras in this scene, in this prison yard, all in amazing choreography. Every little piece had to be perfect. Things were on fire. As you say, I was on fire. The complexity and risk was higher than anything I've ever done before. But I got to say, as rewarding, or way more rewarding than anything I've been a part of, because there's a visceral energy to that you can't recreate or create on a green screen with special effects and so on in post-production. This is all in camera, authentic. And so when I'm huffing and puffing and there's blood, sweat, tears, all of that, but a lot of it is absolutely real and truthful, and we're going through it. So
sounds incredible.
Yeah, the thing is, you obviously really love it. You can tell by the way you're talking about it. You obviously love doing these stunts. And we think it probably runs in your family, because we saw that you posted a picture of you and one of your boys, and I think you're doing some mountain biking or something. You say the kids are way more fearless than you.
It's wild, yeah. It's funny, the older you get, the hesitation starts to creep in, and you start to overthink things. And I look at the purity to how my kids approach any activity, and it's terrifying as a parent to watch them launch themselves off a jump on a mountain bike, or the way they surf, or the way they're at the skate park, or riding horses. But it's the intuitive nature, from when they're born into this world, that they're still hanging on to. And that intelligence is so much, I think, more effective than the over-articulation and overthinking that goes into it. And it's a bit like when you do a stunt, and I said this to our director, right before a stunt, if you start to think that little bit of doubt creeps in, or you said the hesitation, that's when it's problematic.
Yeah.
If you just let it be visceral and intuitive, and you've trained up your instincts and trust that, a lot safer. And just like my kids, I find I have far more injuries when I try and do things that they're doing than they will ever have.
Honestly, Chris, thank you so much for your time. Can't wait to see
Yeah,
the
thanks,
film.
Chris.
Thank you so